Remember today that failure is not the end. Failure is simply a step. It is a step in the right direction. Only those who try can feel failure. Failure is the greatest teacher, and it is proof that you are trying and facing a challenge. Facing failure takes great courage and is the fastest route to growth and wisdom. Stop holding expectations. They can only lead to either it happening or to be let down. In the case of being let down, you receive unnecessary sadness, emptiness, or resentment. If you remove expectations, then you won't have those feelings. Whatever happens will still happen, but your emotional investments haven't been shattered. Remember today that you don't have to turn a situation into something more than it is. You can choose to let it pass, and it will disappear as a momentary annoyance. Or you can react to it, giving it more power and growth in your mind and life. You can choose to let them get to you. Remember today this quote by Zan Oku. May the flowers remind us why the rain was so necessary. Don't be afraid of challenge. Don't be afraid of change. These can both give way to growth and development. Be afraid of comfort and stagnation. It is in stagnation that the mold grows, and what is living will slowly decay. What was once good is now lost. Embrace change and challenge. Accept growth. Remember today that when you look back at your past and cringe, it's because you have grown since then. Understand that some of the feelings and resentments you have of the past are because you now have a better understanding and perspective. Don't beat yourself up for understanding your mistakes and downfalls. You are growing and learning. Remind yourself today that you don't have to wait for other people's approval. Their opinions do not change your truth. You are smart enough, you are strong enough, and you are brave enough. It does not matter if they tell you that you can't. You know your truth, and their approval does nothing. Give you your own approval and belief. Remember today that you don't have to turn a situation into something more than it is. You can choose to let it pass, and it will disappear as a momentary annoyance. Or you can react to it, giving it more power and growth in your mind and life. You can choose to let them get to you. Remember today that regardless of how you spend your time, it will pass. If the time will pass regardless of the things you give your energy to, isn't it better that you give your energy to the positive, the good, the things that help better your life, and the people around you? Spend your time building instead of destroying. Think before you act, especially if you're angry. You cannot take back a stone once it has been thrown. Once your character is tarnished, the damage is done. It takes years to build a character, yet it can be taken down by your own anger in seconds. Is anger really the best reaction? Does acting out of anger really benefit you? It seems you only stoop down to their level and lose integrity. Remember today that the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. The more you desire, the more you feel you don't have. They are rich who are content with the least. Bob Marley once said, "Money is numbers, and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end." Remember today not to get angry at other people's mistakes. The best path is to use it as an opportunity to teach. Don't mock people for not knowing. We all took the same path from not knowing to becoming educated in that field. They could laugh at you for not knowing something that they specialize in. Treat yourself the same way. Don't be disheartened by mistakes. Remember today that holding on to hate will never help you. Like a great weight, all it will do is hold you back. All times the hatred you hold on to will hang on to you. Make efforts to let go of this hatred, not for them, but for you. Let go of this burden, clear your mind. Stay positive. Sometimes you don't even realize you're blocking your own blessings by thinking negatively and holding on to the past. Remember today that you don't have to turn a situation into something more than it is. You can choose to let it pass, and it will disappear as a momentary annoyance. Or you can react to it, giving it more power and growth in your mind and life. You can choose to let them get to you. Remember today not to sabotage your future for momentary comfort and pleasure. If you burn down your home to keep warm, tomorrow you'll be without a home and you'll still be cold. Your future self is just you, but living with the circumstances of your present actions. Make the right decision so your future self is in a better position than you are now. Remember today that all hard times you have been through, the adversities that have now passed, they have left you. What remains is the wisdom and strength that you acquired. Hardships will pass, but their lessons will always remain. Remember this if you're going through difficult times. Remember today that if you put your time, energy or love into something, and you realize it's not for you, or you have made a mistake, you can stop. It can be disappointing, but you have to realize that your efforts were to realize that you belong on a different path. Don't hold on to a boiling pot because of the time it took you to boil.